Hello, gentle viewers. This is Vindian, welcoming you back to OOTP 21 and our tour through baseball history. We just finished 1878. We had a good season, just not a great one. And that's where we are right now. Before we launch into the couple of seasons for today, I wanted to make a couple of quick explanations slash announcements slash things like that. First of all, don't be afraid to use the online manual. It's actually pretty solid. Hopefully you can see this here. I'm going to switch back to OTP. But if you do find yourself stuck in a particular spot, it's pretty good. You can also just use the help key and it opens up a version of it here in front of you, which is pretty good. And it's always context sensitive. So for example, if I click on my team home screen and then I click help, you see it gives me information about the team home screen, which is pretty fantastic. And although OOTP could still certainly do better in terms of documentation, it's really nice that that does exist. So, if you ever wonder what a specific setting does, like for instance, let's go to League Settings and Historical, and I pop open. I could just press the F1 key, but I'm lazy. Nothing happens. Were you just thinking about it? It may just be something that doesn't actually happen. Oh, there it goes. It just took a minute to load. Let's try it again. Press F1. Okay, well, it's not perfect, obviously, but it still is a nice reference. So I'm going to turn recalc off, and I'm going to explain why. And it's partly because the manual is very good, the subscription is not. It's not clear what they mean by real stats, because they also use real stats here in the real/neutralized sense. And I wasn't sure what they actually meant. So what this is going to do, basically, it's been edging players a little bit, one way or the other, based on how they did in real life. And I didn't want to play that way. And if I'd understood this, I wouldn't have even started with it on. But what's done is done. And we're definitely not going to let this stay on anymore. Well, this will mean is we'll see a more natural development for our players. Players will get worse over time. Some will get better. Some will do as well as they did historically. Some will do worse. And some will do significantly better. And that's what we were always wanting. So I wanted to make sure that I turned that off on camera and showed you guys the manual so that you don't make the same mistake I did when you're playing your own thing. Right. All the way up to Hall of Fame voting, we'll still have nobody to vote for, but that's okay. A trade proposal. Now you're offering me a really good second baseman for a really good outfielder. I don't think I can make this trade. Can I get you for anyone else? Tommy Bond, absolutely not. What can I offer you? What about Joe Miller and George Creamer? I don't think this is going to work. Oh, it's not going to work. Okay. That actually makes it worse. Okay. Well, we tried. It's an awesome deal. Hey, we got another Cy Young. 2 of them, in fact. But Charlie Jones is the best part of this team right now, especially in our lineup, and I can't afford to give him away without a fight. We also have the irritating Tommy Morrill, or John Morrill, randomly making himself a third baseman again. My dude, you're a first baseman and you always will be. That's just how it is. Let us advance still farther forward. We got a Silver Slugger for Charlie Jones. Very nice. And John Morrill. Superb. Yeah, Charlie Jones has been just a really smart pick for us. How long have we managed the Keokuk Westerns? Since 1875, I want to say. Yes, because we had them in their first season in the league. So that was a really good choice for us. I'm going to cast my ballot, and there's no one eligible. So we're going to zip right along to the draft. One of these years, we're due to have a relatively deep draft. And I'm not expecting to get megastars. I'm expecting to get quality hitters. And it seems like this might be that year. It seems like this might be the year that it's a little bit better offensively. Even if Dan Brothers, I think, is the only one who actually made the Hall of Fame of this group. Yeah, he did. Because for his era, Dan Brothers hit ridiculous batting averages and was also a fantastic power hitter, which is a very unusual combination. Okay. We pick 7th. As long as there's at least 7 good players in this draft, we're going to get something good. And it looks like this is a relatively deep-ish draft. Which would be brilliant. I'm really hoping for Jack Farrell if he falls to us. And he did. We need to fix second base, and he is definitely an improvement over what we've got at second base right now. I'm going to take him, and I'm not going to look back. It's rare that we find the exact player to fill one of our team's biggest needs, but here we are. Now, the next question is, who do we grab next? Another bullpen guy, maybe. Bill Phillips is interesting, but first base is a position we've actually already got a pretty good regular at. What other positions do we need? We need a catcher. And I keep clicking the wrong button because I'm blind. We need a good catcher. Are any of you actually a catcher? There's a few, but none of them are great. Which I guess is not a surprise. We can probably grab ourselves a catcher later on. Another bullpen guy wouldn't be a terrible choice, but I think we're better off trying to get a nice young player. That's interesting. Look, you're not a great shortstop, but you're a pretty decent hitter. There's Jake Evans, who's a really good defender, but a pretty bad hitter. And you're actually you're genuinely bad. I'm going to take a shot, and I'm going to draft, I'm going to take Sadie Hoke and hope that they become a good shortstop. But I'm also going to let you develop, too. All right. Who is the best catcher remaining? Kemmler's no one who can even play catcher all that well. And I know he's not a very good hitter, but I'll take it. Especially because he's only 18, which means he might develop. And then I'm going to trust my scouting director to go ahead and choose me my last pick. We finally got the deep draft that we needed, and I definitely think that Jack Farrell is going to be a very welcome addition to this team. I also believe the same for Sadie Hoke. especially when we turn the player into being a shortstop. But for now, I will happily take this group. And the Rule 5 draft, I don't want to give anyone away for free again. Let's check the roster. I have so many 40-man spots, there's really no reason not to put anyone with even a modicum of talent on there. The question is, does Al Nichols have a modicum of talent? And I'm not sure the answer to that question is yes. But I'm willing to give him a shot. And everyone else can go hang as far as I'm concerned. There's no one else there that really speaks to me. Yeah, and they don't speak to anyone else either, which makes perfect sense because they're not very good players. Right. Everyone is signing, which is beautiful, and we're instantly going to promote Jack Farrell. Mr. Hoke, I would like you to learn shortstop. And I'm going to have you start in double. I guess you can start... No, I'm going to have you start in double A. I'm not going to rush you. I'm going to trade Joe Miller, and I'm going to see what, if anything, I can get for him. Doug Allison is a decent defensive catcher, but he's not a good hitter. Charlie Mills is just bad. I'm not convinced there's anyone here that's really worth my time. Johnny Ryan's a decent hitter. I could take him and then put him in AAA and have him figure it out. Because the thing is, he's not a bad player. He's just not a pitcher. He's a hitter. Oh, sorry, you're a left fielder, not a right fielder. My bad. And I'm going to send you to AAA. I'll put you on the 40-man, but I'm going to send you to AAA. I'm going to let you just work being a right fielder and see how that works out for you. Up to preseason. You have raised my budget, which is lovely. What is my max scouting budget? $28.80. Do it. There we go. Do I change ticket price? I don't think so. Now, John Mcmullen is an interesting proposition. He's still a great hitter, but he's lost a lot of his defensive ability. If he ever had it. And statistically, maybe. Wait, you're a pitcher too? Interesting. Okay. Anyway, so we might have to find a new role for him. I don't know what that role is going to be, but he might even be worth trading if we can get the right package for him. But for right now, I'm not overly concerned about it. Because we'll either win or we won't. And yes, those are the two options. this is true. Alright, Fred Warner, I would like you to hit... basically, we're going to do this, and then this. And then Jack Farrell, you're my starting second baseman. I am never letting him hit again if I can avoid it. Nope. And if you want to play Burrows more regularly so I can see how he turns out as a hitter in a full season, I'm okay with that. And I go ahead and copy both of these, and we'll come back over here, and we'll paste them both. And then pitching is going to stay the same as it always was, so I'm not worried about that. And we're going to sim all the way up to opening day. Personal message. Let me check the scouting settings. I'm trying to remember where the player development setting is. The one that tells them how often to give you player development reports. I don't actually care that much. If it just gives me more, it just gives me more. I'm not worried about it. Now, the biggest obstacle to us being truly successful is the one that no one can control. Which, in fact, there's only one playoff team from each league. Hey, George Knight's picking up speed. That's good news. John Morrill and Jack Farrell are far less impressive, but still okay. Herm Doscher's becoming a really good third baseman. And Sadie Hoke has some things to consider. Really? Who is my best prospect? Oh, Jack Farrell just comes in at number 11. That's fine. I'm not mad. I'm a little bit mad. Let's play our first week of the season. Or first month of the season, rather. Player development. Stuff is happening, but it's nothing too mind-melting. Rudy Kemmler's getting better, which you love to see. We've only got 5 games. Friends, that's not enough to tell you anything about anything. We're finishing near the bottom of the league. Why? Especially when Tommy Bond was the starter of the month. What is your deal? Like, Tommy Bond is pitching as fine as ever. He's not the issue. So then what is the issue? Literally no one is hitting. Okay. Except for John Farrell, weirdly. You know what? I don't buy it. I don't buy that this is what we're looking at here, and I think we're just gonna stick through it for a bit longer. Because, like, John Morrill, for instance, doesn't even have 100 at-bats yet. And you really can't overreact on a short sample size. That's just not how we're going to roll. And all of a sudden, we're starting to look a lot better as our hitters find their stride. Which is exactly what I expected. Here we go. Jack Farrell, George Creamer. We have some nice improvements for certain players. Yeah, Sadie Hoke is turning into quite a nice little player. And given that we're not gifted with the greatest hitting shortstop in Major League history, it's not a terrible thought to consider making some changes. Hey, Herm Doscher was Player of the Week. Neat. And of the month. I mean, battered is a strong word for a guy hitting 288. Yeah, we're just a few games out of first now. And you'll notice that some of our hitters are coming around. Some of them aren't. John Morrill, in particular, seems to really be struggling. Let's see if he can pick it up, though, as the season progresses. I am going to go ahead and bump up Farrow in the lineup. I think he's a little better hitter this season than Fred Warner. And Fred Warner, you're just acceptable. I don't think you have a huge future with this team, but I'm not inundated with quality center fielders, so we'll figure it out. All right, we got ourselves some all-star rosters. Tommy Bond, Charlie Jones, and that's it. I'm not mad about it. I can live with that. He really likes Jack A. Farrell. He likes more. That's lovely. I'm going to keep all my minor leaguers. I have not had a hitting coach all season. We need to fix that. Mike Timmons, you are being promoted. I think I meant to do it at the beginning of this episode, and then I just forgot to do it. Scouting director, you don't want to be a scouting director anymore? But why not? You've been so awesome. Man, that's some bullshit, but okay. I don't have to find a new scouting director. Krabby Tom, you can continue being my understudy. And then Mr. Bahunin, I'm going to promote you to AA hitting coach. Sorry, AAA hitting coach. There we go. And then I'll just find a new hitting coach. This guy looks good. No, this guy looks even better. How's about a 2-year deal for $10 a season? Perfect. I like how Sadie Hoke and Jim Gilmore, who I don't even remember, are now 2 of the top 10 people. And there's Rudy Kemmler. Alright, you would give me some garbage for Charlie Jones, and I'm just going to flat out reject you, Chicago. You're delusional. So it looks like our big issue is that we're just not getting on base. And I don't know how to fix this other than doing something really crazy, like making Herm Doscher the leadoff hitter, which seems really stupid to me. The thing is that no one on my team besides Charlie Jones is good at getting on base. It is just not a skill that we've cultivated. But I can tell you that John Morrill is not it unless he starts improving. See, John Morrill still looks like he has otherworldly talent. He's just not yet putting it into effect. Maybe I just need to give him more time. I know he's not a great fit as our leadoff hitter, but I don't know who is. So I think we're just going to have to eat it for now. And then hope that we can pick up a couple of additional players in the seasons to come. John Morrill's getting better. Alright, roster expansion time. Yeah, I don't think we are making the playoffs this year. I think we've actually taken a significant step back in terms of our overall talent level, especially our hitting talent. And I'm really hoping that we can sort this out, but I don't know how we can. Yeah, I've already been eliminated. I feel really guilty about Tommy Bond because he's played so many seasons for this team. And he's just not doing it. He can't do it on his own. I don't care. This is a disappointing season. There's no two ways about it. And yes, we finished 500. So it's certainly not like this is the worst season we've ever had. And for once, the New York Mutuals didn't win the World Series, which is pretty exciting. And I did get a new contract. Oh, the scouting director retired. I guess that's fine. But he's only given me one more year. So let's look at what went well and what didn't go well this season. Okay, offensively, we were a train wreck. This is not good enough. This is not anywhere near good enough. Like, Charlie Jones was merely okay. And John Morrill did eventually turn it around. And John Mcmullen had a pretty good year, too. That's it. And if we go by WAR, it's going to look a little better because we've been drafting for good defense, too, and not just good hitting. But we definitely need a new center fielder. And we can probably do with an upgraded catcher and shortstop. Now, here's the good news. We have the shortstop in the system already, which is Sadie Hogue. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to start next year in the majors. Unless I get like a stupidly fantastic hitter in the draft this season. Tommy Bond, well, he was the dude again. He again led the league in WAR and wins and innings pitched. It's what's not to love about him, right? And the fact that he only has one Cy Young award is criminal. And I know why it's true. It's because he doesn't play for a winning team. But come on, my dudes. Let's get ourselves a new scouting director. Frank Barrows, please come join us, because every other scouting director is god-awful. They're all just the worst. Beautiful. John Farrow got a gold glove, as did Charlie Jones. You like to see it. And we won no other awards. And no one's eligible for the Hall of Fame. Right to the first-year draft we go. Let's go ahead and call up Sadie Hoke. And then we can think about trading like a Davy Force. Or just finding a different occupation for him other than on my baseball team. Hey, it's Old Hoss Radburn and Buck Ewing. Tim Keefe, I think, was a Hall of Famer or close to it. Yeah. So that's all good. Let us do the drafting thing. We picked 7th again. It's fine. And I think the real key for us here is that this is a pitching-heavy draft. We should pretty much have our pick of the hitters once it gets to us. Because I bet a lot of people are going to grab pitchers in this draft. They didn't. Well, you raise an interesting question. Do we take a third starter, or do we try to address the other holes on the team? I mean, Harry Stovey has the potential to be an elite hitter. And I could just trade Charlie Jones and try to pick up a center fielder for him. Or I could trade John Mullins inside. He can really play either spot. Like, Ned Hanlon is a pretty good center fielder. This is the other route we could go. I know his offensive stats aren't as exceptional. So I guess the question is this. Ned Hanlon makes us a better team right now. Harry Stovey makes me about the same team right now, but with the chance to be truly legendary. Like, if we can trade John Mullen and get a center fielder, this is a slam dunk no-brainer. He's just so bloody good at hitting baseballs. But Ned Hanlon is the actual fit we need. He is the position that we need more. He's also a decent hitter. But we're building for the long term. Which I'm taking Stump Weidman. I'm kidding. I'm not taking Stump Weidman. If I was taking any pitch, I'd take Denny Driscoll because he's closer to being ready to go. I'm going to take Harry Stovey. And it's just because he's got all the potential in the world, and I'd really like to have another great bat on the team. Now, I could draft Sam Trott, who is a pretty decent catcher, actually. Mike Moynihan is a decent all-around hitter. Fatty Briotti is a player. I think I'm going to take Sam Trott, and we're just going to let him steep a bit in the minors. No, we're in the dead ball era, and we're drafting players who can't hit for average. I understand the hypocrisy. I'm going to take Len Stockwell. I know he's not very good, but he plays lots of different positions, and that's pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I think Harry Stovey is better for us in the long run, and or even the short run, because look, John Mcmullen is getting to the point where he's not going to be reliable. And if I can acquire great talent, I will. I'll take it any damn day of the week. You can be assured of that. Because it's not that Fred Warner is bad, it's that he's not good. And that is problematic. That's very problematic. Let's trade Davy Force. And I'm going to specifically ask for center field. I'm getting a bunch of offers, which is frankly surprising to me. There's good old Count Sensendorfer, who's a decent hitter, but nothing else. There's Pete Donnelly, who's looked at center field once, and therefore the game calls him a center fielder. There's Wallace Terry. Yeah, there's nothing here that's really interesting. What if instead of trading Davy Force, I trade, heck, I don't have to trade anybody, really. You're promoted. I think we made the right decision. Oh, there's a lot more players here now. And all the center fielders are terrible. Yeah, there's nothing here I'm going to waste my time with. Alright. So now that we've got Harry Stovey, who is an exceptional talent, he's arguably better than Mcmullen right now, except for hitting for contact. Which is a big if. That is a thing that we are not good at, apart from Mcmullen. And it wouldn't be the worst thing in history to let Harry Stovey go ahead and play in the minors and just get better and then trade. Because I think we're more than just one or two players away from drafting success. And I screwed up again, didn't I? I forgot to increase ticket prices. Oh well. Like, Harry's already getting better. Sam Trott is already getting better. There's a lot to like here, amigos. Trott and Stovey both got better again. Oh no, that's actually the same email. Okay. Right. I'm gonna let my bench coach do his thing. And pitching staff is fine as is. I'm not gonna change that at all. Then we're gonna go to opening day, and then I'm gonna reset my lineup this year. Yeah, John Mcmullen is probably the bigger issue of the two. Sadie, don't get worse. You're too young to be bad. You should always be getting more better. And I really don't like John Morrell's contact collapsing, and I really, truly hope that this gets fixed. Because I'm invested in him. Oh boy, we're winning spring training. Who gives a shit? That $1 will buy you a coffee at McDonald's. Tommy Bond is getting better, which is scary. And he's only 23, which is even scarier. Fred Warner is getting a little better at hitting, but he's getting worse at the thing he's supposed to be good at. Harry Stovey is really improving, and before too long, I think we'll see him in the majors. How good is Buck Ewing? Oh, so good. So good. Damn. Oh, well. Let's nuke the lineup. Let's rebuild this from scratch and decide how to build the most competitive team. We want the best pure hitter on the team hitting third. It is no longer John Mcmullen. It's now Charlie Jones because of Charlie Jones's batting eye. And the best cleanup hitter is actually going to be Jack Farrell. Because he's got... Oh, I'm looking at potential. Please give me... Nope. Your actual ratings. There we go. Still Charlie Jones is still the best choice to be our 3 hitter. And then I'm going to have Jack Farrell be the cleanup hitter. John Mcmullen is going to hit second. And I'm going to give John Morrell another chance to lead off. Right, rest of the team. Herm Doscher is going to hit 6th. Sadie Hoke, you've got a long ways to go, but I'm willing to give you a shot hitting 7th. John Farrow, you're going to play catcher and bat 9th. And Fred Warner, because someone has to play center, it might as well be you. I am not playing Force just because Force is a much better fielder. Now we'll see how this works. And if it looks like we're starting to suffer pretty badly, I might swap the two. It's like Hoke is actually bad. He's just error prone. And I think he's got the potential to be a much better hitter. At least I hope he does. So that's that. Player of the month, Sadie Hoke got better. Sam Trott got better. Harry Stovey got better. Excellent. Quit doing this. Quit having my scout send these irritating emails. I don't need them. We're a lot more competitive this year, but oh, fuck me. I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have kept my damn mouth shut. I'm trading John Mcmullen. I know I'm overreacting, but I can't not overreact. I'm going to trade John Mcmullen right now, and we're going to see what we can get for him. All batters, please. Oh, this is not good. We are not getting any good offers. These are all players who range from mediocre to outright awful. Like, yeah, I could grab Levi Meyerly on his downswing. Or Jimmy McCullough, but he's nothing special. I mean, we're just at this terrible juncture. I'm halfway tempted to just send him to the minors and then call up what's his face. But maybe not. You look, for right now, let's go ahead and let Creamer play second. Like, I don't want him to be the cleanup hitter, but I also don't know who should be apart from him. Maybe Sadie. Here we go. This is fine. Everything is fine except when it's not. If we're to have any chance at all this season, Tommy Bond has to play out of his bloody mind. And it looks like he's not going to do that. And we're going to crash and burn because we had an injury this season. And oh boy, it was not the time to have an injury. Sam Trott might be the one who gets promoted, honestly. I think there's a very fair chance that that's what ends up happening. Right. I was back on July 1st, but my dudes, I don't think I can keep Sam Trott in the minors. Actually, you know what? I guess I can keep him in the minors. It's Tommy Bond and Bobby Mitchell. And Sadie Hoke, incredibly. I certainly didn't expect that. He's such a terrible fielder that he completely negates his offensive value. That's interesting, to say the least. Like, he'd be a 2-3-1 player if he was at all capable of playing shortstop. Oh dear. He is satisfied. I am satisfied that he is satisfied. Lock down the minors. And to be quite honest, I think it's time to move on at bench coach. Like, I know he's not great at developing Tommy Bond, but I'm okay with that. And I think it's just time for us to move on. Maybe he will make us play better. I don't know. Davey, my dude, the only reason I'm not trading you is because nobody wants you. So put that in your pipe and bloody smoke it. In fact, I'm not even going to look at veterans. I only want prospects, please. And I get nothing. So guess what, Davey? You can go fuck yourself. No. I don't even understand why you'd make such an insulting trade offer, to be honest with you. Like, we'd like one of the best hitters in the league, please. We're going to give you nothing. You'll need a new pitching coach. I don't care, but thank you. You know what? You are not part of the starting lineup. Shut the hell up. I know why everyone's bitching and moaning. It's because we're losing more. That's the only reason that you're complaining. I get it. You're grumpy. But you need to put a fucking sock in it. Davey, say one more fucking word and I will cut you. Did I mean stab him? Probably not. But I haven't decided yet, quite frankly. Okay, Harry Stovey is phenomenal, and Sam Trott is almost as good. We've got 2 new players there that are going to start next season. I'm out of the playoffs. I didn't expect it. Honestly, losing our potential all-star second baseman, oh gee, thanks, buddy, I think really killed this season. I don't give a shit where you want to play. I want you to shut the fuck up. That's what I want. And the damn Mutuals won again. Like, what the shit, dude? We've been transformed. We are no longer the Keokuk Westerns. We are now the Detroit Wolverines. I mean, Detroit is a much larger city. Henry Burroughs retired. Poor guy. Let's review the team and then we'll end the episode. I have a sneaking suspicion. Yeah, I don't know what to do about Sadie Hoke. He's an amazing hitter, and he's just the worst shortstop. I'm frankly better off sticking him in right field. Like, truly. I think he'd hurt the team less in right field. And I'd even make Davey Force a shortstop again. Because Hoke's got a hell of a bat, but good lord, he cannot handle shortstop. Charlie Jones was good. John Morrill was good. George Creamer was okay. Yeah, I think we let the kids play next season. I'm going to end this episode by trying to trade John Mcmullen. I just think I've reached a point where he's no longer useful to the team. To be quite honest. I'd almost rather have another bullpen guy. I think that's actually of potentially greater value. Not for $400, but... yeah, let's take Russ McKelvey. And I'm sorry that you're sad about John McMullen leaving. I'm going to promote Trot. I'm going to promote Stovey. Stovey, I'm going to shift you to right. I know you won't be quite as good there, but you'll still be plenty good. And guys, I don't know what to do about Hoke. He's an outstanding talent, but he's so terrible at shortstop that he's probably crippling the team. He's so good, and I would love nothing more than to let him stay on this team, but he frankly can't be trusted. And here's one of the interesting things about OOTP that you may not be aware of. Position ratings change, defensive ratings don't. Except when they get worse. And so despite his talent, I don't see it. I don't see keeping him on this team. Can I fix center field? Is the question I am asking myself. Let's pass around Hoke, because he's likely to get a lot more offers. Can I get an elite level center fielder for him? Like, I can get Charlie Eden, who can't play center. I can get Steve Bellin, who can't play center. I can get Oscar Walker, who can't really play center. I can get Holly Hollingshead, who can't play center. I could get Al Hall. Can't play center. Jim Clinton can't play center. Billy Gear can play shortstop, but not better than Davey Force. Maybe better than Davey Force, I don't know. Charlie Eden is a very talented hitter, and I have no doubt that he has skills, but I have even less doubt that he's good enough to play for this team. You're an odd duck, Jimmy McCullen, and I don't know what to do about you. I think my best strategy right now... Oh, I know. I want to see if there's another starting pitcher. So I could have a third starter and take even more pressure off of... I could get Bill Stearns. Let's do it. I'm sorry that makes you sad, but he's not good enough. Which means I can then release Hugh Campbell. I can try trading you, but I doubt I'll get anything. Oh, I've used all my shopping attempts for one day. That's fine. I think Bill Stearns is just a better choice for us. Waivers and DFA, Ross McKelvey, okay. That's fine. I'm going to cut you, and I think I'm probably also going to cut Hugh Campbell. Because no one's going to trade for him, right? It's just not going to happen. And now I have 2 proper starters. I think that'll take some of the load off of Tommy Bond. We have lots of talent. We have so much talent. And we've got exciting young players. But we're missing a couple of key positions. How many games has Tommy Bond won? He's already won 208. That's pretty insane. He's also lost 198. But if we look at his run support, it's going to be real bad. It's got to be expanded too. Here it is. No? I mean, I guess we're scoring 5 runs a game for him. I guess that's not that bad. I do feel kind of sad about losing what's-his-face? Hoke. But I also don't see that we had a choice. I genuinely don't see that we had a choice. Because he made our pitching worse. And if we're making it to the playoffs, my dudes, it's because of Tommy Bond and Bill Stearns. It's not going to be because Sadie Hoke is a pretty decent hitter for a shortstop. So already this team is making some changes, but I think they're the right changes. I really truly think we're a better off as a team with Harry Stovey and Sam Trott. We have a very good hitter and a pretty good hitter, and we have hopefully a healthy Jack Farrell. And if we can get all of that and keep it together, I think we have a chance to be, frankly, one of the better lineups in the major leagues and a good enough lineup to give Tommy Bond what he's most desperately needed, which is validation for all the hard work he's put in. But that is where we are, my friends. I hope you have enjoyed the series thus far. We're no longer the Keokuk Westerns. We're now the Detroit Wolverines, which should at the very least give us a much bigger market. But until next time, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.